Yeah. Welcome to the Flavor Podcast, episode 8.
The Flavor Podcast. Sit down interviews with people adding their own tastes in their everyday life.
What's good, y'all? This is Don Celos, and welcome to another episode of the Flavor Podcast. Sit down interviews with people adding their own tastes in their everyday life. Now, in today's episode, I'm sipping.
We straight on this, bro. We straight.
I'm sitting here with Profesor X.
Yo, mastermind, you know what I'm saying? Gang.
So for the people that don't know who you are, tell them what you do and where you from.
So I'm from Riverbank. It's kind of by Modesto.
Shout out Riverbank.
Yeah, man, you know, the Motown, 209 on the back. I'm a reseller, but I do a lot more to it. I do a lot of coding, and I work with a lot of people that make the bots, and I leak a lot of sneaker news.
Lit. So how'd you get started in the resale industry?
So what happened was a long time ago, I was in about my senior year of high school. It was at Enox High School, and everything. I saw shoes that were, kind of like impressive to me, and I was like, man, I want those, and I fell into that bad habit where I wanted nice things.
What was the first shoe that like caught your attention?
Man, the first shoe that caught my attention was probably, let's see, the Red October, man. The Red October, that shit was just booming, bro. That shit was just.
So for the people that don't know, which one is that one?
Red October, it was a Yeezy that was actually with Kanye before he went to Nike. And I mean, before he went to Adidas, actually. Yeah, I get shit fucked up. We sipping on Modelo. We special.
Shout out Modelo.
Sponsors right now.
Yeah.
No, but it was with the Nike before Kanye went to Adidas, and he dropped it on one random Sunday, and everybody copped that. And at the time, like, I wasn't too hot on sneakers at first. I was a bum to it, and then I saw that sneaker and I wanted it. And at the time, it was going for crazy resale, but it wasn't going for something like, where it was unbelievable to do, like, unbelievable to get, but it was there. And I was like, man, these prices are mad for this shoe. Like, how is this shoe like worth so much? And I can go buy me a Roshi for like $60. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know about it at first. And then I checked the retail and it was like not even comparable to it,
Mm-hmm.
And so I fell into that trap where I was like, I want that shoe at retail. I don't want to pay that resale price ever. And I told myself that I could never pay resale, really. But of course, just down the line, there's been a few shoes I paid resale for, But, man, that shoe was nice. I had to have it. And then when I got to it, I was just like, I got on Twitter, and I saw a huge thing with, like, sneaker fashion. They call it sneaker Twitter in a sense, And there's these guys, they're all young entrepreneurs, man. Like, these guys are all teaching themselves how to code, and they're learning PY, Swift, all that. And they're just starting from the beginning, like just like me and just like you, just making something out of themselves. And I've got friends that are just, killing the game, man. Like, and they're making pretty much like degree money, like doctorate money. It's insane, seeing how somebody can just boost off that. And, so I got into it. I was a scrub at first. I was washed, with everything. And, like, I'd be asking people, yo, when does this drop? When does it drop? What sites, like, and people look at me crazy. Like,
what are you, who are you, bro?
And then, like, I don't blame them, because, like, nowadays, like, I wanted the same when, like, somebody asked me some bizarre questions. But, like, I try to help everybody, but it's nuts, though, and I kind of got lucky. I got great people. I fell into this group at first. My first group I got into was called DCF, and these guys are just nuts, man. Like, and it turns out, like, these guys live all around, like, around the country pretty much. And these guys somehow, some of them live in Sac, and I got to meet up with them. Fortunately,
that's dope.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, we all like met up one day. I ran into one at actually SneakerCon Santa Clara.
For real? How'd you know? Like, do you know it was?
He hits me up. He goes, yo, you're at SneakerCon? I was like, yeah. It was my buddy Dan, and my buddy Dan's like, yo, come over to Wings Closet right now. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll go over there right now. And I was like, oh, shit, like, this is somebody I've done work with for like a year on this
and, like,
stuff.
now you're finally meeting him in person?
Yeah,
that's
man.
crazy, bro.
And then, like, about 2 months ago, a bunch of us met up in San Francisco, like 6 of us, like, about half the group, and it was really cool, you know, like because like you finally have a face to the name, you know?
Yeah.
And like everybody was cool, and it was different seeing like the different like types of people everybody was, but everybody was able to work together and then become friends out of this, and we all built like pretty pure friendships out of it. And you know, I was that, you know, these guys, they taught me everything, you know, like we all kind of taught each other in a sense, like we gave each other sneaker news, we learned the ropes, and we built our way up, and we still are grouped together still, like we stuck together this whole time. Man, these guys always blowing up my iMessages, man. Like, I had to turn the fucking shit on mute. You know, like, I was like, fuck. You know, it gets nuts, man. Like, you know, when, like when
it's about, something's about to drop, like, everything's just going crazy, huh?
Or, you know, you start noticing, like, man, these guys are my friends now. Like, you know, after a drop, you're still talking to them. You're messing around. You're like, these are my boys now. Like, I don't even know half their faces, man. Like, but, you know, you start learning, and, like, you're like, yeah, these guys are cool. And, like, we use it to our advantage in a sense, you know, where it's you know, helps you not just with sneakers. You know, these guys, they have careers. Some of them are doctors, some of them, you know, lawyers, like, and they're doing the sneaker stuff just because they love the culture, you know. And it's interesting. And then that's when I fell into Easy Lab, you know. And Easy Lab, they are a sneaker source in a sense. You know, they leak a lot of Adidas news, and they have stuff that nobody has ahead of time from anybody, so a lot of people depend on them in a sense. And it's a closed group, of course, you know, and that group has been helpful and beneficial. And then some of the guys actually in that DCF group got me in there, and I'm grateful for that. Very good people.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, DCF, I'm taking a Modelo slip for you. But it's interesting, man. Like, you know, you have to deal with the people saying, oh, you're a reseller. Like, they look at you as a scrub, you know, and then you kind of have to decide, is this something that you're doing for yourself, or are you doing it for your image? It comes down, you want to do it for yourself, you know. Like, you doing what you're doing it great, man. You know what I'm saying? I've heard about you through the grapevine of people, and that shows right now.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
I love the interviews. We're going to get drunk as fuck by the end of this interview. But it's really interesting, though, you know. And as time goes on, you get better at it. You find things. You learn things about the market, things that you wanted to know, things you didn't want to know. And with Lab, it helped show me that I was going somewhere, you know, with things, and that I was boosting my way up things. And I started getting to connect with other people that were developers for bots such as Splashforce, Dash.io, DNA Bot. Shout out to Danny. It's dropping that shit soon. That shit's gonna go. No, dude, there's some crazy shit that everybody's cooking up, man. And you know, I've met friends that live in the UK and offer their place to stay.
That's freaking crazy, you know.
They're chilling, man. Like, and you don't even know these guys in person, you know, and they're offering you a place to stay where you feel like, wow, like you built friendships off this. And we started developing stuff like where we're actually making people easier to cop stuff, you know. We're creating their own proxies. You know, it's just nuts, you know, because like seeing the market these days, there's so many people hopping on it. Like, you can see there's gonna be people that are like your friend's dad that's hopping on it, your friend's mom, you know, and you're just like, wait, your mom copped a box logo, and you're just like, wait, what? No, I've seen it. What is going on? And it's nuts, bro. You see that, and you're just kind of gets you. It's like mind boggling. You're just like, what's going on? Like, and that's when the market's like getting kind of scary because people are underselling, and us as resellers, like, we're trying to get as much as we can. But my biggest thing is that you can't complain about profit. You know, like, any profit is profit at the end of the day. You know, and I'm sure you know that too. You know, like, when you get your goods, you can't complain about profit, even if it's like $10, $20. You're making money.
Something's better than nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. You'll notice a lot of people, they get greedy about it, and you can't be that way. It's not about the money though. It's about the networking. You gotta be good with everybody. You wanna do favors with an unexpected favor back. You know, you don't expect that stuff back, and like, that's the biggest fault for a lot of people I've noticed. You know, because you're dealing with a lot of younger kids, mostly when you do this stuff. Like, so they think, oh, I hooked you up, you owe me something. I look at it as, I hook you up. Don't do this. Don't hook me up back because you want to owe me something. All right, or whatever. I owe you something, whatever. You know, like, it's just do it because you genuinely are like, oh, that's my friend, you know, don't.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't, I wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't matter to me. I would just be like, oh, thanks, man. You know, I appreciate that. Like, I've been hooked up with things countless times, and on drops I couldn't get. I had friends run me slots, and what slots are is when somebody can run your credit card and get multiple credit cards in your addresses and everything, and pretty much get you the shoes. And it's like an ATC service, and so it's really, really cool, you know. And sometimes some people are skeptical about it because like you're giving your credit card out to people. Like, at first, I was a little like scared about doing that kind of stuff because I was new to it at that time when I first like got into seeing what ATCs were. I never actually got down with actually paying an ATC service, but I had friends that like ran it for me for free, so I was like, I'll take that, you know, shit, you know. But it's interesting, you know, you start developing more of a marketing like mindset around everything. You get a business mindset, and it's some things that, you know, college won't teach you.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
You know, at the end of the day, you don't need to be successful to go to college. You don't have to be. You don't have to need college for success. At the end of the day, it's the truth. Just you know what I'm saying? Like, don't drop out. But I mean, like, you know, get an A or something.
Well, what I always tell people is, like, for example, if you want to be a doctor, of course you need to have a degree, right? But for me, I wanted to go to school for business, but like the way that I perceived it is, if I want to go to school if I want to be a business owner, I just need to start a business. Like, what the fuck do I need to go to school for? Like, of course, there's gonna be aspects that I'm gonna learn at school. There's gonna be connections that I'm gonna be able to make, but I'm gonna learn better if I'm actually in the field, like hands deep. Like if I take losses, that's gonna be a bigger lesson than just learning something out of a book, right?
Yeah, because I feel like the best way to learn, like you're saying, is you have to take a loss on things. Because when people don't experience any losses, they think everything's just going to fall in place. And it's not the truth, you know. You can have the best bot in the world. You can have the most connections in the world, but there can always be a fault. You know, something could happen. You got to have a back plan. And you got to also understand that if something does happen, you have to accept it, and you have to learn from this mistake.
Yeah, and sometimes people just need that slap in the face. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Like, not everything's just gonna be butterflies and roses, you know.
Right? No, yeah. I had the hard truth, man. Like, you know, some things were preventable for myself. Like, especially easy drops. I'd wake up an hour and a half late because I'd get drunk the night before. It was like a little tradition of mine. But I fell into that tradition by accident because like everybody would be like, hey, let's go out to drink, and it'd be every time there was an easy drop the next day, and I'd say, God damn it, man. Like, and I don't want to say no because nobody would ever want to go out before that, but every time it was the day before easy drop, I'd be like, let's go out, and I'd say, yeah, man. And then everybody in my group would be like, God damn it, Xavier, you're drunk again, like you're an alcoholic. And I'd say, no, man, I swear, I'm gonna wake up. And so these guys, they would actually hold me down, man. Like, and they would say, hey, we knew you were gonna fall asleep through half the drop. We got you on some cards. We'll run you some slots for you. And like, that was the legitest thing, you know, when you know that you got friends that take care of you.
And that's strictly out of love, you know. Like, they didn't have to, but they did it, you know.
Yeah, they're pretty much putting money in my pockets for sleeping. But like, you know, it's all love, you know, because like I said, we do stuff without favors in return, you know. Like, that's how it is. And DCF is probably one of the world's groups, you know. Like,
you give good out and you'll get good in return, right?
Exactly. And
that's what people don't need. That's what some people need to realize too, because some people just feel like strictly like, what am I gonna get out of it, you know?
Yeah, and that's the wrong thing, you know, out of it. Like, you can't look at things in life saying, what am I getting in return?
Yeah, exactly.
What am I getting in return? You know, look at that. You just made a business connection. You know, look at that as you networked with somebody. You can't take advantage of those situations. I mean, you can take advantage of them, but don't take advantage of the person.
Yeah.
Like utilize their time and their kindness as an ethical person, right? You know, because there's going to be people that will try to like go behind your back because they see you're doing something. Well, you don't want that to happen, of course. So you got to be on your toes, but also not being a dick at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like too many of those people, but you know.
And then you also got to have a good reputation with people, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's another big thing, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. It's big. The funniest thing about the easy drops is my friends and I, we found this jig, you know, like my buddy found it and actually shared it to me. And when I woke up an hour and a half late being drunk, it was I think it was during creams. It was the cream Yeezys, and we found we were changing the links from Canada to U.S. We were bypassing the queues, the Yeezy queues,
What the fuck?
and doing it at limited times. And we were all the first ones to know, so nobody knew about it. And like, some of sneaker Twitter did, and then it eventually got out. But I caught up like, let's say 40 pairs in 45 minutes. And that was without a box. I didn't have anything set. 'Cause this is the one thing about me. I don't bot. I code my way through things, or like I figure out ways. Like I have pretty good connections with everything.
Yeah.
So it's the funniest thing. People are like, "Oh, you bought, right? How do you get so many pairs?" I just say, networking pays off in the end, and people.
Your
just don't
network is
understand
your
that.
net worth.
Exactly.
Quotes.
Gosh, yeah. And it's nuts though, man. Like, what I see with the Boost and everything, with like Nike and Adidas and all that stuff, Adidas is taking a downfall big time because they flooded the market.
Yeah.
They pretty much turned a NMD into a Roshi.
Yeah, they just like they just dropped too much at once, right?
You remember that one? Like, it was like about a year ago. They were dropping like six different colorways a week, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, this is overwhelming!" And nobody's got the money to just spend like like $1,000 a week on all the colorways,
Yeah.
Unless you're Boost God, Boost God. You're
Shout
my
out to
boy.
you.
You're my boy. No, yeah, Boost God, he's stepped up with everything. He's always had all the shoes. He's been good about it, but not everybody else can't do that,
Yeah.
They can't afford to just keep on doing all that.
Not
stuff.
everybody could be a Boost God.
Shit. That guy has everything, man. Like, I don't know how he does it.
Shout out to you.
But it's cool, like seeing like the market fluctuate, because I compare the shoes to stocks.
Bruh, exactly.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, man? It's a stock market, man.
So when I first started Vital Vintage Goods, I had no idea how big the sneaker community was.
Oh, it's like an underground market of people.
Bruh, what I compare it to is like, because back in the day I used to do graffiti, so like unless you did graffiti, like you know about the graffiti scene.
Yeah.
So unless you know about the sneaker game, like it's like a whole nother world, bro.
Oh yeah, these guys are so smart, man. They're the most swift people I've ever met.
It's like, it's just crazy, bro. Like
it's nuts.
It's just like too much for me to handle at once, bro.
And have you noticed though? It's like with even like back in the day, it was all just Gucci and Louis.
Yeah.
Like it's still now. It's like that's the fashion, but it's more like you go up to somebody, they're gonna look at you from toe to head now, not head to toe. Like they're gonna look at you like, what kind of shoes is that guy wearing? What shirt is he wearing? Is that Off-White? Is that, is it Balenciaga? Like, they're going to look at you like that. And it's like, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's a change, though. It's a start, like people are starting to appreciate fashion for more than what it is now. And
so what's some of the trends have you seen with fashion? Because what I've noticed is like high-end fashion is merging.
With like, like the streetwear.
Yeah.
Like Supreme and Louis.
Yeah.
That stuff was gnarly, man. Like my buddies and I, we had a Louis account. And so we were like kind of like low key just getting stuff and just shipping out immediately. Didn't even want to hold that because we knew the prices were going to like kind of fluctuate with everything. And with that, it's really interesting seeing how it is with them collabing with that, because in a sense you see that, these fashion brands, like these designers and everything, they're starting to realize that if they don't keep up with the streetwear like trend, they're not going to stay relevant.
Yeah,
they'll stay relevant to maybe like your dad with a pension or something, like mom and pop. Like they're living in like Calabasas or whatever.
But one day they're gonna die off, and then who's gonna be the ones purchasing it?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really interesting seeing that. Where we got people that are wearing Balenciaga, but the Balenciaga looks like it's a street brand now.
Yeah.
Like you see that new campaign they got, it looks like the presidential campaign, like people paying like $300 for a t-shirt, and I'm like,
yeah,
I can't break down to that, man. Like I'd rather wear my H&M's $10 tee right now than Gucci. Just kidding. Nah, but like it's interesting seeing everything like just change, like.
So how old are you when you first started like venturing into like the resale market?
I would say I was about 18 when I like first started like seriously like seeing like, okay, there's
So from then to now, like what have you noticed change?
I would notice that there's people in the market now that aren't a part of it truly for the culture and actually knowledgeable about this stuff. Man, people blowing me up, man. They stop, man. They're big in the market for just the money purposes. They don't know jack shit about what's going on with the shoes. They don't know what's this. They look at it easy as, hey, like this is $200-$300 profit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary and sad at the same time because there's so many people now that are trying to get these things that have no idea what they're getting, and they're killing the market.
Yeah.
And then also it's making things extremely harder. Like Supreme, like we all used to be able to manually bought that stuff and get a box logo here and there, like a bunch of box logos back in the day. But now it's like you got to buy it. You're not even guaranteed to even cop anything anymore because like I said, you got everybody and their brother just trying to cop now, like,
which is fucking crazy, bro.
And nobody's keeping it anymore, you know.
They're literally buying it just to resell.
Yeah, you know, like my biggest thing is I had to like that hit me one day was that to like keep up with this marketing for myself, to make myself more of an ideal like person to come to sell to, I mean to buy to and sell to actually, is you gotta have some stuff. You know, if you're just selling and you're wearing your Echo Fit, you know what I'm saying? Like
your South Pole tee.
I'm scared as fuck right now. I'm not trusting your J's because your J's are doing slam dunks. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna look like Shaqs. You know, I can't even trust that. You know, like. But if you see someone wearing like goose down, like a goose down fit, like from anything, you know, like in North Face Supreme collab, you're gonna go, that guy's got it. You know, you're gonna look at that person as saying, this guy's got the real Supreme, like, or like this guy's got the real Yeezys. Like, cause at first when I first started, people would always go, send me pictures of your Yeezys. I need to make sure they're real. Let me see the receipt. And nowadays, nobody asks that. You know? They know like, hey, this guy's legit.
So like that's like a form of branding yourself, right?
Exactly.
So how important do you think that is?
I think it's major, man. Like ever since I started branding myself more, and it's just helped me. It's helped me look more legit.
Yeah.
And actually, people are just like, it kind of lures people in because they're saying, man, this guy's rocking a coat. I'm going to follow this guy. And then after that, they're like, wow, this guy actually has a bunch of stock. Like, let me hit him up. And it's just extra money in my pocket to more of my bad habits of like, buying random clothes, because like, I'll go somewhere and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's a nice coat. And then I'll be like, I can't buy that, I'll go hit the Go Yard store or something. You know what I'm saying? I get, at the end of the day, you got to invest your money with it too, but you got to be right. Like I've given up hundreds and thousands of dollars of profit to help somebody out too before. Like I'll say, yeah, you can have this pair of shoes. Hey, you can have this coat. Like, don't even trip. Or like I've sent links to things. I'm saying like, yo, you guys can take this link. I'm not going to go on it. And they're like, what, bro, are you serious? Like, I'm like, yeah, man, like I don't expect anything. Like I want you guys to make your money. Cause like, I've had friends on there, like that were in poverty, and now look at them, they're making 6 figures off reselling. And, they're the most humbling people. And of course, you're going to get those people that are like broadcasting everything they do, and they're a little annoying, like little kooks, you know what I'm saying? Like they're crazy, man. Like, but you kind of like figure out what you want to do with the resale market. Cause, I got pretty much unlimited money through credit cards that I've made that, my shoe buys off of. Because what happened is when you're like, you're like young, you're 20 years old, what's the likelihood that you're going to start off reselling or have any time to buy product with $20,000? What's the average amount of people that are going to have $20,000 on them? So when I had that, like, I wasn't like crazy wealthy. I had money in the bank, but like I didn't have money to just invest like that. And that's when I found credit cards, like, and like credit cards, like you think like,
oh, this is money. It's like free money. Like,
that's like one of the reasons why we're in the our national debt's up too. Like, so, but like, you gotta think ahead of it, where you're not letting that, you're not falling into that trap. You're paying that stuff month to month.
You have to, like, but people think of it as just like free money, like,
yeah,
but it's not.
It's still there, like when Taxman hits you and everything, and Uncle Sam goes, yo, you spent this much, and then also and the credit card company is saying, yo, you never paid this back.
Yeah.
But what I did with my credit cards is it's probably like a more mature situation of things, and probably a little different than other people. Is the only thing I've used any of my credit cards for is for shoe purchases, and at the end of the month, it's completely paid off because
and that's building up good credit too, huh?
It's sold, yeah. And I built my credit up so fast, man. Like I was in shock. It was crazy seeing that how fast you can build your credit purely off reselling sneakers and clothing, you know?
Yeah.
And because the market is so lucrative, you know, everybody wants to have something. And then especially when you build your base of being who you are, you know, business comes fast.
Yeah.
It comes very fast. And you got like an easy drop days, like I'm saying here, even Off-White drops days. It's like you're going to get someone that's like, you're going to get like thousands of DMs like on my Twitter. Like I can't even respond to it, man. Like I feel bad. I just tell people that if they know me, you got to call me. Just call me and blow up my phone because I'll probably start flipping out, you know, that you called me, but I'll get you your shoes, you know? Like, yeah, I'll be like, dude, stop calling me. Stop calling. And then they're like, go give me the shoes. I'm like, okay, I'll get them, you know? Like, and like, I'll get them, but that's like, there's a little repercussions to it. I'll be like a little like antsy and freaking out, but because I want to get just like, you know, as many pairs as I can,
yeah,
secure as much, but I'll get you your thing, you know? That's how it works. Like, and so I try to help as many people as I can, but it's hard to like, get back to everyone when everybody
You're
wants
only one
something.
person, you know.
Or like, you know, the biggest thing though is I've noticed with the sneaker community is that the Asians control the market. Like Asia, they're so ahead of us on sneaker fashion, and especially like
they're so ahead
clothing.
of everything, bro.
Dude, you know, like it's nuts seeing like they're wearing those like patchwork shirts.
Yeah.
Like I'm like I got people out here like, oh, those new Supreme joints, those Nike ones are dropping with all those the different basketball teams all over.
Oh yeah.
On. They're like, oh, that's not gonna flip. I'm like, no, you got that wrong. Asia's thinking that's hot, you know, that's gonna flip. And then that's when you start finding like, I need a Chinese buyer. I need a guy in Asia that can be a buyer for me. And those guys pay like, I would say double the amount that, you know, an average person in the U.S.
Because they can't get it out there, huh?
Exactly. And, you know, for a reseller that's trying to start, I would tell you though, is that ask as many questions as you can. Don't feel afraid to sound dumb, because I was there one day, and you know, there's people out there that are going to help you, and there's going to be people that are going to be rude to you, but you're going to find that core group you have that help you out, and you know, make the best of it, but don't destroy the culture of it. Don't undercut the market. You know, wear your shit too. At the end of the day, wear your shit. Wear some of your shit, you know, because like, if you're just selling everything, my buddy Ryan that owns the shop, shout out to 1985.
Shout out to you guys.
That guy, you know, he really instilled that in my head that, you know, you gotta keep some of your stuff.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where I wasn't keeping anything. I was just like, no, I gotta sell it. And like, and I was just, you know, freaking out. Like
show them what you got, bro. Lift up the foot.
You
know, something light.
Cozy boys, you know.
Little something.
Ryan actually hooked me up on these for a fair price, but way under the resale market. Like, that's what I was saying at the beginning, where I paid few shoes, but Ryan's a great guy, man.
Shout out to Ryan. We got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Like,
if you're watching this, pull up.
Yeah, you need to pull up, man. Like, that guy, bro.
I got a cold one for you.
Modelo. No, but real talk, though, that guy, he brought a culture out to, you know, the 209 and Central Valley. I
went to, who was it? Chris Dog. You know Chris Dog?
Yeah, Chris, cool dude.
He had his dream, like some pop-up that he did there.
I remember that, the dream thing.
Yeah,
that was dope.
It was like the first one that he did. And when I got the address, I was like, where to go to Riverbank, bro. It was like in the middle of nowhere, but then you pull up, and then this is like this sick ass
LA
like
vibe shop, right? You know,
that shit was like, wet. I was like, what is this shit doing here? You know?
Yeah, it's a diamond in the rough, but man, like Ryan's doing it, man. That guy, you know, he's one of those guys that you can look at as like, he's a friend, and also he's an inspiration to this stuff. You know, like bro. He brought me on to the sneaker stuff a lot. And I honestly consider him one of the main people that really, really showed me the ropes of just becoming more of a sneakerhead and then getting my ideal fashion to things.
His whole like setup is just dope too, bro.
Oh yeah, he's on another level. That guy's like Elon Musk. Like 30, you know. Like
his fucking his shop is like nice, bro. Ryan, I aspire to be like you.
Another one.
Keys.
But man, like, this sneaker stuff, it's crazy though. Like you're gonna see in the next year or so a lot of shops close that are like, you know, like I'm not talking about Ryan's shop. Ryan's shop's gonna stay, you know, because that guy, he's doing it big. He's making numbers on this stuff. I'm talking more like, you know, Shoe Palace, Foot Locker. You're gonna see a lot of those like corporations closing down because they're not getting jack shit. Nobody's buying stuff from them.
Everybody's interested on those hype shoes now, you know.
Exactly, and that's what Ryan's got. You know, like, you know, he's got everything, bro. I'm gonna be real. Like, I like shouting out people that deserve it. You know, like, you know, I never try to take credit for anything. You know, because you can't get anywhere without anybody else. You know,
exactly, bro. So how important do you think that is? Like you spoke about having like a good people around you, right? How important is it having a right community or like the right circle?
Oh, it's very important because when there's certain drops, there's certain information you don't want leaked. You want to know that you can trust those individuals that they won't leak your stuff. Because I've had like situations where we had guys in our group that they're not in there anymore that we thought that they were like, you know, helping us. They totally went behind our backs and like fed out the information, leaked everything out where, you know, it made everything where we couldn't cop it.
Damn.
And like it gets a big deal, you know, or like leaks of pictures of shoes that weren't supposed to be released yet, and like we get access to them. We find out that picture gets leaked out. We're like, yo, we were the only people that took that.
So somebody in the group had a fucking
like it's different. Yeah, there's different things, you know. It's crazy, you know, like, and you know, I'm in this one group. It's the top 44 chefs, and like plus Brandon, you know. Just kidding. We just let him in there. He's a Brandon. Just kidding. You know, but like we just throw him in there. We're just like, yo, you're in there.
I just feel bad. Just come here, bro. Just
we're pretty strict about things like that, you know, as well, because a lot of things is we all come to each other for information on things, and a lot of those guys, they have their personal lives covered, you know. So you start connecting with people, you start like, you want to keep that stuff private, you know. So we kind of like all remain private on what we do, and then of course there's those other people that like, there's some people occasionally that will, you know, post something that like kind of gets out, and you don't want that getting out, you know. And then we kind of sift out the group, you know. We have a pretty solid group now with everything. These guys, like, pretty much all of them are developers for the bots, different bots that people know, like, and it's nuts, man. And these guys are real deal. Like, some of the guys in that group one's a doctor, I think.
That's crazy.
You know, like, these guys have their own businesses, and you know, you're just kind of like, what's going on with things. So
for like a person like me that doesn't know jack shit about a bot, explain it. Like, what is a bot?
So a lot of bots, you know, pretty much all of them, they run off proxies. You know, you got to have a good server. You're going to invest pretty much a good few $100s into it after even purchasing the free, like the $300 bot or whatever it costs for it, you know, because you got to buy your proxies. You got to, you know, be everywhere on the thing. You're going to have multiple cards to use, multiple addresses. And a lot of people, like, what they used to do was privacy, was this card it was this like website though, like, and you signed it up and it was kind of like an ATM card in a sense, but it changed out the numbers every time you purchase your transaction number. So like, you're a whole different person, you know, like every time. And it's really interesting because there's guys that will literally mess up a release. Their bot, they don't run their bot right. They run it too early, where say these sites, they start getting smart around it, like where they start changing the codes on everything, the sneaker ID numbers, you know, everything on it, the SKU numbers and everything, and just saying, fuck you, pretty much, you know, like, because they know everybody's gonna bot their site, right? You know, so they're starting to like find little like tricks around it, like, okay, we're gonna drop the thing, pull the stock, and then bring it back, drop a fake stock. Like, there's sites that do that, and it's really interesting. And so there's guys that potentially can lose thousands of dollars off botting, and you know, they think, oh, I'm just gonna have a bot, I'm gonna cop everything, but it's really not the truth, you know, because if you have a bot, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, but you just have a bot. That's how I look at you guys. Like, do you know how to use your bot? That's something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's really interesting. And these guys, they compete with each other. You know, and guys can join markets together, and it's really, really cool. Like, everybody's helped each other, and you know, like me, I don't even bot. You know, like, it's really interesting, but I still manage to cop multiples of everything I can. You know, and do it right. It's just, I'm thankful for my networks. I have everybody that's helped me throughout the way. You know, think about it right now. We're networking right now.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know what
much.
I'm saying? We met through social media. Like,
Shout out IG.
shout out to IG. I guess who owns IG now? Like,
Oh, Facebook, bro.
yeah, shout out to
Mark,
Facebook.
Shout out Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, you killed it?
Yeah, like he said, yeah. Yeah. No, but it's crazy, you know, like, it tells you things like, him and I live about an hour away from each other, and we're still able to find each other through social media by linking. Networking is such a major
And like, think about it. You didn't have to make the drive here, you know?
Yeah, I'd even like, it wasn't like anything I was like dreading, you know. I was like excited because this is a new connection right here. You know, you're gonna meet somebody that's gonna help you branch off, and you're gonna help them branch off.
And then somebody's gonna watch this and be like, oh, like, they might reach out to you, you know?
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa, you know. And I'm excited for this, you know. I love doing interviews with random things, talking about random things, and like, I like how it's not just strictly sneakers. We can talk about anything. Like, if you guys really want, we talk about cryptos if you want. Just
all right, go.
Down.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Honestly, in 5 years, I see myself as like maybe like a CMO for a tech company, like in coding pretty much with everything. And I don't know, just tech companies have always caught my eye because it's shown that, you know, you don't need college for this stuff.
You really don't, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it comes down to learning yourself.
exactly,
man. Like,
bro. Like, self-education is the best education.
one of my boys in the UK taught me how to code through Skype. Yeah. See what I'm saying, man? Like, it's interesting, you know. Like,
So it's just about who you know, right?
in a sense, but like, you know, you can utilize YouTube, and I guess there's even places like San Francisco, like, where you can do like a 6-month course and they teach you how to code. It's like a coding boot camp. You get your certificate and there you go, you're set, you know? Like, it's nuts, man. You know, if you know how to code,
You know
you're
a lot.
40 steps ahead, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still not that great at it, but I'm good enough. It's hard to say you're good at coding in any aspects of things because there's so much to learn, you know, and everybody's competing with each other these days. And that's what I learned about the sneaker community, that a lot of those guys are coding, man. And those guys are insane, man. You got 12-year-olds that are making like 100,000 a year, and you're just like,
they're like, fuck school, fuck middle school.
no, man. Dude, you need to come out because I'm taking out to LA on Wednesday.
So tell them, where are you going to head out to?
So All-Star Weekend starts this weekend. Well, next weekend right here, though. Not this one right here, but the one after it. And also what Adidas is doing to counter them, to say that, yo, we're here too. They're having a 747 warehouse. What that is a 2-day event where it's exclusive, where you have to have tickets to get in, and you had to win the tickets or buy certain things to get the tickets. Not everybody's being able to go. So they're going to have certain releases like the new 4D, the Future Crafts. They're going to have them in whites, the Friends of Families, and then they're going to have the Bape Dames. They're going to have everything, and it's all raffle. It's all a raffle. And what they're doing, too, is they're going to have, like, concerts with a nerd playing.
Oh, shit.
Playboy Cardi, Uzi Vert, all, like, 21 Savage and all that stuff. It's going to be nuts.
21.
She. And then they got, what else they, oh, man, they got Team 2 Chainz, where Team Snoop Dogg's basketball teams going against each other.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good event. Like, I was mainly going there for All-Star Weekend because I was like, man, there's going to be so much heat there. Levi's, they're probably going to have a pop-up shop redrop their Jordans that they just did.
Yeah, those are sick.
So much, man. Like, there's so much to see out there. And, you know, seeing Adidas step up their game and drop that out there, they're saying, yo, we still are somewhere, you know?
We're still out here.
And it's going to be nuts. Like, I got people from the UK, New York, everybody coming out, like, to see us. And my buddy Noe, he got a beach house on Venice, you know. We're going to be getting lit out there, you know. It'll be a lit-ass
Popping
time.
bottles.
You know? Bro, spade everything, you know what I'm saying? Ignorant living, I'm just kidding.
You only live once.
Oh, my gosh, man. It'll be a good time, though, you know. And for a lot of people, majority of the people, like I'd say 99% of people are like, oh, I'm going out there for the sneakers because, you know, they're going to say like 10 to 20,000 profit, 20,000 profit weekend, you know. Like, like, that's a no-brainer. I'm looking at it as like, yo, I want to see Nerd.
Yeah.
I want to party with some of the guys that I've met on Twitter that I've never seen before. Like, that's what I'm looking for.
Take a selfie with 21.
Man, that guy would probably slap me.
It's It's a knife.
But it's cool, you know, like, God damn it. But like how I look at things though, it's like you can't just look at the money of things. You got to look at it as like, man, this is a huge networking thing.
Yeah.
Like, when I go out there, I got a couple of meetings. I'm gonna go get dinner with one of the Adidas execs, and then I'm gonna go. I have a meeting with this girl that writes for High Times, and then, you know, it's gonna be interesting. You know, I'm going out there for more than just sneakers. You know,
Exactly.
It'd be cool. You know,
You're going out there where the purpose at.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you gotta go out there freely, and then be willing to network, because you gotta utilize your networks. Because if you don't, what's gonna happen? You know,
You can't do everything on your own.
exactly. And I don't know, man. It just confuses me. It's mind-boggling to me when someone says, "Yo, I don't want to help anybody." I just go, "Okay, then I'll help them. Give me the contact. Yeah, I'll help them out right now." Or, you know, I say some stupid stuff. I'm gonna be real. I say some of the stupid stuff, but at the end of the day, I think I'm right. You know, I think I'm right. You know, but you know, it's crazy to see your shop and everything. You're putting together this stuff right, you know.
Thank you,
started
bro.
off something, you're making it real. You're making that dream a reality, you know. And not too many people can do that, or, you know, pursue those kind of things. And it makes me proud to see you doing that, brother.
If we had the beer, we'd take another swig, but
Yeah, but I'll pee my pants if I drink another beer right now.
So what are 3 key takeaways you want people to take away from this?
Be smart, open to networking, and then also ask any question, whether it's dumb or not.
Because whether you think it or not, somebody else might have the same exact question. They're just too afraid to ask it.
Exactly. Because I just feel like there's so many people that just are scared to ask for help for anything, and that's a big thing in life in any aspect. A lot of people, they're scared to ask. And,
Yeah.
you know, you got to break past that barrier. You got to do all kinds of stuff. And, you know, if anything, contact one of us. You know, if you guys got questions on things, you know,
Just
ask
hit me.
us, you know, slide in them DMs, you know.
Yeah.
Tell your baby mama what's up to him.
No,
you know?
not me, bro. It's bad. Taking shout out to Bay.
Yeah. Shout out to Bay.
What about you?
Loyalty. No, you know.
Oh, he's smooth, bro. Just hit him up.
I'm a little Uzi hurt right now, you know. No, but you know, you're about to see a lot of big things with this guy this year, guys. You know, be on the lookout for him, man. He's pushing it right now.
Pushing like a constipated.
We hope to see a location soon, another location pretty soon.
You already know it.
We're gonna be winning, man. I can't wait to see this happen.
You gotta pull up to the grand opening.
You know I will. I'll drop a SoundCloud rap for you real quick, you know? Man, dude, everybody's gonna think I'm an alcoholic after seeing this video.
It's good,
like, you
bro.
always got a beer and alcohol to drink with you, a cocktail or something to like.
What's your favorite thing to drink? What's your favorite mixed drink?
Man, you're gonna be surprised, man. I drink like I'm a 65-year-old with a pension, man. I like an old fashioned.
What is it?
So it's like a bullet, one of those like sugar cubes, what are those? A Mutt's cherry. And then they get the peel of an orange and they like peel it into a circle, whatever, twirl it. Yeah. And it's just that, so you get the acidics of everything, and you just drop it in there.
Wait, what is it called?
An old fashioned. You gotta try one of those, bro.
Fuck, I'm gonna try that, bro.
It gets you on, man. It gets you on. I'm like, oh.
Bro, I always just go with I used to go with the Jack and Coke, but now I go with the Crown and Cran.
That's good. I like Crown and Cran. Yeah, that's really good, actually. That's the fire. I found myself like doing mojitos for a little bit, you know.
Mojitos, me too, bro.
Larry
you know
June
what?
got me on that. Big mojito.
You're doing good now. Suck it to me.
God.
Yeah. Best ad-libs in the game, bro.
Bro, my boy Peter, you know Peter, right? Little Pete. He's gonna be like, "What the hell? God damn it, Xavier! Y'all want the yee?"
Yeah.
Man, it's cool though. I like seeing this guy's like, you know, I know he's interviewing me, but you know, I like talking about other people and like, you know, try to be as humbling as I can. This guy, he's making moves right now. You guys need to see what he's doing.
Pull up.
You know, someone getting on another interview with this. We just want this to get bigger, you know?
Yeah.
He's doing this right, you know. He's bringing the culture, and he supplied me with some beers, you know. We're chilling, you know.
Big Bull, about to hop on the arcade right quick.
Yeah.
You about to catch an L on Mario versus Capcom.
Yeah. I don't know about that, bro. I'm about to win that shit. Just kidding.
All right, so guys, life is all about flavor. Remember to add your own taste in everyday life.
Yeet.